It's Jason coming to you again on a Sunday afternoon, our version of End the Simpademic, and I am here. I went to church this morning and I had it was a very interesting sermon, and it was about dating specifically. And the scriptures were taken out of the book of the Song of Solomon or the Song of Songs. And it's the Bible's landmark chapter about marriage and intimacy. And I know that, there's a lot of things that we do, particularly in the faith, as far as keeping sexual urges under control until such point that we are married. And in my particular instance, I know that I have full control over that at this point. It's a source of personal pride for me. I don't say it very much, but it's true. But also, they're talking about going out and looking and dating and being in the scene. And I just was sitting there thinking to myself, I've basically stopped. I'm not trying to find a partner anymore. And because we are in a culture in which even merely approaching a woman can result in wrong, false harassment charges. And it's putting our own security and economic viability at risk. And so as much as I appreciated the lesson, as much as I appreciated the scriptural review today, in my particular case it does not apply because I am out of the game entirely. And it's not something that's worth doing because, as I have mentioned on this channel repeatedly, the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. And even within the Christian church, that particular aspect has seeped in. As I have mentioned a couple times here, I was at a previous church where I asked a lady on a date, and at face value she just says, "You know what, I have a boyfriend," etc., etc. And I was gracious about it. I never even got her phone number. I would never even did anything beyond that. It was about a 2-minute interaction at tops. It wasn't like I chased her down the hall or anything like that. And yet I find out later on that she had reported me to the staff and saying that I was making her uncomfortable, quote unquote, air quotes. And if the church is not even safe to seek and look for a woman, no place is. And if that's the case, why bother? I have a good life. I have a very peaceful life. I have a very accomplished life. I'm one of the toughest survivors that I personally know. I have a good relationship with my God, and I have a very good conscience about how I live my life. Now, do I want to make everybody else live my life? Yes and no. Of course, I always encourage, Christianity as a true faith. However, pushing people into it or forcing people into it or thumping them on the heads with the Bible is not the way to do it. The only thing I can do right now is just live the life that I have and do the best I can with it and be the best example and really love other people the best that I know how to, because as the book of Matthew says, love one another is basically the biggest commandment that we have. And that is my purpose in life. It is also to basically just show the world, how much adversity one man can overcome with a faith in God and Jesus. And it's not safe to even pursue women even in the church anymore because of the Me Too culture has basically seeped its way in. And you can be subject to false harassment accusations anywhere you go in the West these days. And unfortunately, I found that out the hard way. But I'm carrying on. I'm being happy with my life. So anyway, just wanted to expand on my observations within that particular sermon, and just to say that I don't reject the teachings, but they're not applicable in my case. Because unless there's a big door from God that opens up, my thought process at this point is I'm going to live the rest of my life by myself. And I'm okay with that. And if that's what the good Lord wants me to do, then I'm all for it. It makes me more like the Apostle Paul, which is pretty high company to be in. But I mean, if I can have full control of sexual urges and desires, it puts me in that particular club, and it's honestly mind blowing to be able to claim. And so, but if it's meant for me to to have another wife, another woman who is going to be a better together, who's going to be somebody who's going to we're going to make each other better people, and neither one of us will necessarily financially rely on the other. It's called 1 + 1 = 4 in this case, and we would build something amazing together. That is something that as I've mentioned before, I've literally had dreams about. But I'm surrendered to whatever result is meant to be. And so I don't chase, I don't pursue, I don't ask, and as this channel's name is, I don't simp either. You shouldn't, even if you are seeking for this type of relationship. That's not going to get you any respect. I like to think that I'm fairly respected amongst the people around me. And I want to be a leader and an example of how to live, woman or no woman. And it's purely my hope is to honor God with whatever life it is that I have. And so this is my expansion on today's sermon. The church in question, if you want to look it up, is Eagle Brook Church, which is in Minnesota. It is the state's largest church congregation, judging by weekend attendance. I don't know about membership, but judging by weekend attendance, it is. And it's a very vibrant and very energetic congregation. And it's a great place for me, and it fits me well. Go to eaglebrookchurch.com if you want to ever watch a sermon on Sunday Morning Live. They are at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Central Time on Sunday mornings. So, and I don't usually attend the main campus. I attend a satellite campus a few miles to the southwest, closer to where my daughter actually lives. And it works very well. And I wanted to just kind of expand on some of those thoughts in regards to the Christian faith and relationships with women. So that's where I'm at with this. This one ran kind of a little bit longer than I usually do, but I had a lot to say. So, happy Veterans Day tomorrow for those who celebrate. I do want to honor and respect the veterans who have laid down their lives for this livelihood, and for us of all faiths to be able to openly practice and to not have a state religion. These are very important things. It's the power of my faith combined with the power of the First Amendment of the Constitution. which we which makes really for a great country. And all faiths are able to practice without a state religion in place because of the Establishment Clause. And for that reason, I truly, truly admire and respect those veterans who have served to protect our freedoms in this country of ours. So I will call this one good. Again, about double the length of usual, but I had a lot to say. And I will see you all tomorrow on Veterans Day itself for a Monday evening version of End the Simpademic.